stomp after stomp after stomp after stomp. 4 games so far, going very easily one way and the other. Vega Squadron against Virtus.Pro. Game number 5 is here for you in the final of the EU qualifiers for ESL Frankfurt, or I should say the upper bracket final. We do have 2 spots for qualification. The winner of this series will find themselves in one of those spots in the draft, progressing relatively quickly here between these 2 teams. Vega have dire side, so Motpax, my co-caster, might be correct about them looking a little bit hotter in these drafts. But what do you think so far?
Well, we've already got that puck once again. Gonna be buying that space here for the Lone Druid. So this will be no one, of course, once again on his star hero. And I think this is the perfect scenario. I think the reason you see these 2 heroes together is because it's just so damn good. Like, it used to always be, I mentioned earlier, but it used to always be Queen of Pain, Lone Druid. The hero would buy that time during the whole mid-game and allow Lone Druid to get up in those bigger items like that Radiance. And that's what the puck's going to be doing here. It's no one's best hero. It does pretty well against the Invoker in the mid lane. And he got a lot of pressure on him before. You can see they're actually going to ban out the Ursa once more, so that we don't have that same trio of chords once more for Vega Squadron. It was a little bit fortunate seeing last time, though, right? Like, it was kind of rough. Like, they couldn't get anything going for no one, and Mag and FN kind of had to pick up that early game slack, more surprisingly. You know, not exactly what you were expecting. So, I'm expecting something a little bit more active than the Ursa anyway. I don't know if that ended up being the hero. Like, I think a Gyro would be pretty solid for FN.
So we've seen 4 games of Stomp so far, no game going over 25 minutes. Do you think we're going to have a slower paced game this time around and both teams say, hang on a second, this is where we kind of screwed up in the previous matches, this is where we can adjust and maybe be a little more timid with our playstyle? Or is it just going to be CIS Dota again and they do the same thing and see what happens?
It depends on exactly what Vega ban right now, because what is FNG going to play? Right now, Vega's saying they're looking. It's an Invoker and a Witch Doctor. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that a Faceless Void is the most common hero that would be going here as your offlaner, right? Throw up the Chrono, throw some stuff into it. Vega know this. They've already banned out the Doom, great hero against Puck. Faceless Void, great hero against Puck. They're not going to have that Ursa to deal with the Faceless Void in lane. It might be a little bit easier for FNG, but the question is, do they believe that the Chronospheres coming from FNG are going to be enough to win this game? Do they feel comfortable giving him that hero because they know he's going to go for it and they feel like they can deal with it? Like, if you end up not banning the Faceless Void here, I actually think that's a pretty huge mind game, personally, because it's so obvious. Like, it's so brutally obvious, and look how long they're taking. They're going to reserve time right now. Like, what does that say about how you feel about this hero in the hands of Virtus.Pro?
Are we really scared about the Void? They're not. That's the Broodmother. They will remove and instantly into the Enchantress pick for them. A hero that we've seen banned out in the second phase every game, I want to say. Oh, we saw one. We saw one Enchantress, right? Oh my god, the series is just like all melded together.
Yeah, we had one. Did we have a Crystal Main in the same game? We had one earlier.
I remember it being an Enchantress against the Nature's Prophet.
Wait, did we? Now I'm confused. Yeah, no, we totally did. Yeah. It was game 1. It was Vega. They had it.
Yeah, it was against F&Gs?
Yeah, it was against the Doom. We talked about how the Doom was like the.
Oh yeah.
We talked about how Doom was like Crystal Main because it can eat the creep, and yeah, that's what it was.
Reserve time.
And now VP, they don't even know what they want.
It's also confusing. Best of 5s, honestly. Yeah, it was Mag offlane Enchantress. That's what it was. And FNG on Nature's Prophet. Yeah, that's what happened there. Well, Virtus.Pro. Where do you go? You've got a Witch Doctor Invoker. You can go for the Faceless Void like you were mentioning here. It's going to be the Puck against the Invoker mid lane, Witch Doctor +1 and bottom lane. I kind of want to see a Yoku Chaos Knight. Just because that hero for the CIS region has been like a breath of fresh air for them. Just being able to tank up, get treads, drums, move into the heart. You push into towers with Phantasm. And it gives you so much just fighting potential early on.
10 seconds
if you get a good laning start, you can run over heroes like the Lone Druid and the Enchantress with just your raw damage output. I don't know if it's worth a ban or a pick straight away. It's going to be the slaughter for them now.
Gee, Wind Ranger. Do we have a safe lane Invoker? Is that something Yoku does? That's kind of your classic, right? You get your Slaughter, your Wind Ranger up against the Lone Druid. One would assume this will, of course, be the G Invoker, though, so I'm certainly not suggesting maybe a hero swap. I don't know if they would do, like, a lane swap, too, but Either way, it's all about the minus armor. Single target focus onto the bear. And it also means no Faceless Void. No Beastmaster as well. Like,
remaining.
I don't know. Is that... To me,
Safe
that
lane.
kind of seems almost like a mental edge.
5
Safe lane
seconds
Slaughter is a
remaining.
possibility. If you wanted to go that way.
Reserve time.
Yeah, it's true. If it doesn't end up being FNG.
Then you could still have a Beastmaster or a Void. And I'd be aiming maybe more towards the Beastmaster. But Slardar safe lane against a Lone Druid Enchantress, potentially dual lane here, roaming in onto you, and Enchantress flipping through the Radiant Jungle, going from safe lane to mid lane. It's going to be a rough one
Disruptor.
to actually handle, and Vega Squadron continue on this Disruptor train. They'll pick it up again here, and they've got some pretty good combos with the Puck, Dream Coil, into Static Storm, Virtus.Pro, Drow Ranger.
Vega Squadron.
So it will be the Slaughter off lane, Invoker mid, but what's their 5th pick? Do you just ban Visage here because it's a
I would say
potential
so.
hero?
This is interesting because this was the thought behind that Brood ban,
10
right? It's
seconds
game
remaining.
5. You don't want to get quote unquote cheesed, you know, some sort of a strategy that's not exactly that
5
common, something that gets
seconds
pulled out in
remaining.
these scenarios, and that's why I get rid of that Brood. Make sure it wasn't going to be like mid or off lane or safe lane. You never know with that thing. All kinds of ways that we've seen teams kind of try and capitalize on that hero in any sort of a situation that they can. But we end up with this kind of drow Slardar. So Radiant side giving them some of that Roshan control. This is what we talked about. Like, how are the Radiant side going to be able to actually win that damn fight or take that Roshan at least at a time where the Dire won't be able to contest? And they see a Lone Druid, they see a Puck. If you can get in there before, 10 minutes, 9 minutes, you can fight a Puck and a Lone Druid. There's no question. Puck is not that strong. Doesn't really want to leave that early unless it's that, like, primo counter initiation with the coil. So,
Very
I like the
squishy.
gyro ban out. We do end up with a jug instead, and yeah, well there you go. There's our dazzle. So this looks like the one we were talking about earlier.
Even more minus armor. Alright then. Slardar amp damage, Drow Ranger with the right clicks, and Dazzle with the weave and wave and grave and all of that nonsense. Vega Squadron though, they've got a decent amount of heal between them. A healing ward from Juggernaut, Enchantress with the little sprites. They've got very good counter initiation value though, like you were saying, between Glimpse, Kinetic Field, Dream Coil, and just the Savage Roar from the Lone Druid. And we used to see this before from Alliance, was the Lone Druid plus Batrider combo, where the Savage Roar plus Sticky Napalm was basically used as a big disable in its own right. Could be used here with the Puck Dream Coil as well. Combo that up to make it snap. Maybe throw a wrench in the works for Virtus.Pro.
10
But
seconds remaining.
laning phase. That's the key. Laning phase and Roshan taking
5
capability.
seconds remaining.
That's the name of the game in this series so far. Sunstrike will scout out. I really want to know where exactly this Enchantress ends up.
Prepare for battle.
I know FN's already heading back down to his old stomping grounds here. Except you know, one more off-lane Juggernaut.
Just do the old aggro lane. Now you could have solo in the Radiant Jungle as well, like I was saying, just dipping in from bot to mid. Slardar for
Pretty much
FNG.
the ideal spot, for the Enchantress. It's just where he wants to be.
Yeah, just move back and forth up this area here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, an observer ward in this area from No Fear just to scout this out, or maybe even one a little bit deeper, go for this spot above the single hero ramp. No smoke this time from Vega. They do try and de-ward the lane ward that has been placed so often here from Virtus.Pro though.
30 seconds.
Wait, did they de-ward it? Did it already get... No, they didn't. It didn't get taken. They didn't place it. One Radiant Observer ward's already towards the mid lane. But VP, contesting this bottom rune against Vega is going to be a scary proposition, and yeah, G just moves himself away, doesn't want to get involved in this battle at all. So, well, we're going to have Mag up at top in the 1v1 against Slardar, and Voka's going to be the 1v1 against the Puck, and they're going to try and battle this one, are they? Yoku's posturing, positioning, ready to walk himself in, but not going to commit. There will be an aggressive dual lane for now. Shioma the Slayer with FN, a Disruptor and the Juggernaut, while Yoku and No Fear, Drow, Witch Doctor, Lowhead Ants on the Dazzle as well, going to be making up this defensive tri-lane. And Solo's Enchantress, looking for that off-lane camp creep just to start things off. And that also blocks. So they've blocked up this camp. This camp's blocked. Enchantress, not going to have a great time playing aggressively in there. They've even got a deep ward in behind this tier 1 looking for these dives. Solo does have to be wary of this. The fact
It's one thing to block this camp up against like a Chen Like, let's say you're Radiant side, you block it against the Chen. It's very effective to just leave that camp and block out this one up against the Enchantress. Obviously, with the time, you're gonna have to like force her to basically be spamming out the enchants. She has a longer way to go. It's more difficult for her to amass a well-timed army, where she can like bring this one in, grab a second creep, and waltz on over. Much harder from over there versus right here. So I like the way they've set this up this time from VP.
Hellbear and a Satyr. Oh, the damage output from these guys is going to be insane if they can just catch someone.
That is so ridiculous. Like, what would have been better? Maybe a troll secondary, I suppose, instead of the Satyr, but...
Yeah. Well, the way things are going, though, Mag should get relatively good farm up on top lane against FNG. And Witch Doctor, no fear. He's already made the move across from the bottom lane to try and defend up against this Enchantress first rotation, because it's very obvious that she's going to want to come in, but FN has already died down here. Yoku dropping low, but the heal from a low had answered. There's no grave, but the long-range projectile is not going to be long enough to capture out the Drow Ranger while the cask flies, bounces back onto the Satyr and then to the Hellbear. Doesn't land onto Solo at all. I'll be able to kill off.
Yoku is way too close for this.
Yoku, Thunderstrike, damage output. Is it going to be enough? The Shadow Wave, where is it? Not healing him up. He's going to die to the Thunderstrike. Came back in at the wrong moment, and Solo should be okay to sproink it away.
Oh, what a disaster. I mean, he was just too low. I'm not sure what he was expecting.
He really wanted to kill that Tomato, I'll tell you now.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's still... I mean, that is not Drow Ranger play right there. Can't be dying on this hero. Obviously, someone who has a hard enough time lasting at the very beginning. You gotta kind of get into those bigger items. Try and give yourself a better chance at farming. Look how hard it is under the towers, that early Drow. Like, it's just such a slow projectile.
It's a little bit awkward, definitely, now. The little battle at mid. 12 for 2, 11 for 3. Very even between G and No One. The puck will start to bully this lane a touch as he gets into the higher levels of his illusory orb, dodging out the attacks from G's Invoker as well. But top lane, how's it going? Slardar 10 and 2. He's actually doing very well on this top lane. Orb of Venom is even up for this Lone Druid Spirit Bear. Mag very focused on taking last hits instead of actually harassing FNG as he sprints himself across to... Oh, nice. He's going to get the regen. Eats up the Observer from the sentry placed earlier. Very well done. Well done. A bottom lane, the spin onto Yoku Grave to save. But this little golem with a right-click attack from Sioma, not quite enough to catch him out. He's going to cut himself into the trees deeper and deeper.
Oh,
Yoku hiding. He juked through and Sioma the Slayer can't find him. He'll run himself across though and they finally see... Oh, no, wow, yeah, they see him. They see him. Yoku with the stick charges will not be able to save himself from that. And this aggressive tri-lane working wonders as the double shard golems come through, stunning up No Fear with the pebbles. An Observer Ward gives perfect vision, but Tier 1 gets pressured.
Oh man, this is just like total disaster right now for VP. If they lose this tower, like they need to just keep throwing everything they have at this bottom lane. But you have a Slardar, right? Like these early rotations, not an ideal hero for this.
Mid lane, G, the haste on No One, fair fire, and then the orb back. No One jumps himself away, dodges the hit, and phase shifts away to safety. Perfect play from the puck. Killing off the Invoker.
So what was the earliest GG so far? Just for reference.
17.
Okay. Well, we'll
Because
see.
we went like 26, then 23, then 17, then 25.
Tower is under attack.
So we didn't continue the downward, I don't know, real bad spiral for GG's being called earlier and earlier.
Radiant's top tower is
We'll
under
see.
attack.
We'll see where this one goes. No smoke from Vega. He's going to run himself straight back down towards his bottom lane as the sentry no longer exists. So this camp will start spawning itself up. But Solo has got a Dark Troll and they're going to look aggressively already as VP. They're on the front foot looking for Sioma the Slayer, but FN, he just captures one. The trap was there. Slardar coming through. They've got the Grave onto No Fear as well, and FN's crushed down by FNG, slammed in, but no one's here. The puck arrives, jumps himself forward, finds the kill on the two-man Dream Call. Yoku and Aloha Nats absolutely destroyed. And Virtus.Pro, they're being demolished on this lane. FNG still there with a crush back in. Yoku dies to the orb, and the Sunstrike not going to accomplish too much, but Solo with the Untouchable. Level 2 now. FNG can't do enough damage. He's turned around. The Dark Troll trap. Another orb in 3 seconds time as the Winning Rift is coming back up as well from No One. But can they catch the sprinting Slardar? Fishy, running away, jump away from No One. And FNG salves himself up, looking for the crush again, and No One. This puck might be trapped. Crushed up, phase shift, dodges out, FNG outplays him. And No One, Sunstriked into oblivion. As Vega will lose their puck there, 4-6. Still, the Dire come out slightly on top.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Possibly with that mid pick off, I may even want to hand it off actually to VP. just because they didn't manage to shut down no one. Like, economy-wise, yeah, they still end up getting the win there from Vega, but the fact that you're just trying to slow down no one, you really don't expect that much of a level 5 rotation from FNG. Very well played. And, you know, he was kind of like holding the waning rip there from no one. I think he was just trying to secure that when the orb came up that he'd be able to live, but not able to slip himself out of that one. That was like the dream scenario for Vega, too. Like, you got that big rotation in from no one. He comes into the perfect rotation, perfect spot. But big heals coming up from No Fear actually saving that gank majorly. Like, the fact they need a second point into that Voodoo Restoration, things would have been a disaster without that.
Where is our Slardar now? Is FNG just roaming around with his level 6? Mag has shifted down towards bottom lane, 400 gold away from his Hand of Midas. And Sioma and Solo stick around as well. G, how are we looking? In fact, G might head into Treads instead of the Hand of Midas, knowing that his ramp-up time is going to be shortened incredibly here by Vega's early aggression. Well, they caught the Spirit Bear. Amp damage is there. Kinetic Field will catch though. No Fear. FNG has gone very deep. They'll kill off the bear. 300 gold, 300 experience. The Glimpse back, though, will catch FNG. Trouble is, he's so quick on his feet with a level 3 sprint. He fairy fires and he's back to safety. Easy as that. While the rest of Vega, they're left thinking, what do we do to catch him?
Can't buy a route. And Meg not quite getting the angle there on that Savage Roar. He's a very slippery little fish, you know, but FNG, like, he can buy some time in this game if he can get up to a Blink Dagger, but he's being forced to be very active, right? Like, he's down here, he's applying some amplified damages. It's not going to be enough to save this tower, though. Your Droud's gone up top. Yoku, no intention of coming back for this, I highly doubt. Aloha Dance is up here to babysit him. FN is just, like, freely sitting up here with Phase Boots and Poor Man's Shield, and this tower will be going down. So, yes, it was a pretty big comeback in that fight down bottom, but I think losing this tower is just like almost the death blow here for VP. And it's hard to say that, but I mean, how do they get Roshan now? You know, how do they have control of their jungle? How do they have a good position to come into that fight?
You kill enemy heroes. You run at them.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure the plan at some point is going to be run at Vega and make sure they pay for their insolence. As Yoku, he's in a 1v1 up a top lane against FN. Does have the Dazzle sitting just offset from him. Aloha Dance. Physical damage is good. The Sunstrike. Oh, yes, hello! Booms him from across the map.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Juggernaut. Thought he was safe there. But Poison Touch and Shadow Wave. Physical. Add in the Pure from Sunstrike, and there's no Blade Fury that can save you from that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Mag finishes off his Hand of Midas. Yet to use it, though. There we go. Pops it out. Well, FNG now 900 gold away from his Blink Dagger. How are we looking for no one? Because that's the other Blink, right? 826 gold saved up with Treads, so he did actually stop back for the Treads.
It's because he, when he died, he bought the gloves. I think other than that, I'm pretty sure he actually would have went in for that Blink Dagger right away, just because it is the Drow, it's the early aggression, you know that you're the hero that has to deal with this, right? And now he might not be here for this fight. He is a TP, but he's actually going to try and run it there.
The weave, there's no grave. Alohanant's holding onto it, maybe looking for a different save. As this spin from FN, oh look at that damage output, he's got no armor left, and Solo, the right click's coming through. He's got no chance whatsoever until no one comes through. Solo's still alive, how is he still alive? Alohanant graves himself up, finally the damage from Yoku will clear him up, but the kinetic field dropped, and then a snare from the bear. Catch the Drow Ranger unawares, but the glimpse, oh, Slardar into the thick of things, the meat grinder, the amplified damage onto Sioma the Slayer, might be able to find a kill before he dies, but the silence of the Savage Roar saves him up. FNG entangled once again by Mag, finds the kill. They lose their Jug and the Enchantress, but 3 massive, destructive takedowns. Virtus.Pro lose their 3 core heroes, as well as their Witch Doctor.
Yeah, things seem maybe a little sloppy from Vega. I mean, no mana there from the Omni Slash, and then no one just having to run his way in there. Had a beautiful initiation, though. Definitely, you know, don't want to take that away from him, but not quite able to capitalize on all their positioning.
This
cast go down
bounce has done a lot of damage. No one face shift. No, yes!
Nice. Easy.
Easy? Shut up. That was tighter than a duck's bumhole.
No Sunstrikes left this time to bring him on down, so managing the phase shift at this time around.
Oh, G gonna be unfortunate not getting that kill. Impetus shots from Solo. asserting his dominance a little bit there, but the cask bounced between him and the bear. And for now, Solo's dropping very low, and the Static Storm not really on the mark, and the Dream Coil a little bit wonky as well, as Vega, they're looking to initiate into this. G is entangled. Omnislash finally comes through from FN, but it's level 1 only, and FNG slams them down. Crushes them up. But look at this Juggernaut. That minus armor on him, can't do too much. They finally get the kill back onto the Invoker though, as no one jumps himself forward. FNG silence as well, the Wedding Rift. No one is clearing them up one by one, but still the minus armor is out. And Virtus.Pro, Drow Ranger, gets a couple of kills.
Yeah, he does manage to snag up that blink before going down though, so that's obviously very huge for them. Doesn't even end up losing too much gold, actually comes out on top despite dying, but I don't know, that was kind of an awkward fight there for Vega. I wasn't even sure if they were going to end up taking it. I think they just found a very favorable orb, and no one doing no one things, wanting to go in there, so considering they didn't commit like a good static storm, it was more of a defensive one there, and the Omnislash also not quite able to get like a single target focus. Did go very well, but you can see G, he's going in for this kind of aggressive build. You know, the Miracle, I believe, was the first one who brought it back. In terms of like this mech invoker going right into the treads. It's like this recovery drow 5-man strat, right? And then the next big thing, it's FNG actually going for that Force Staff, a little bit of Moo Dota here.
Oh, did Miracle bring back the mech invoker? When did he do that? Was it Star Ladder?
I think he picked it up in the game at Shanghai.
Okay. Oh,
Or it might have been a tournament right before that, but it was only like one game.
I mean, Fata dropped this build. He didn't play it at all. But G, no Midas, just treads into the mech. Maybe Rod of Atos or a Force Staff for himself later on for that mobility. FN, this Juggernaut though, 3,700 net worth. He really has some catching up to do. Trying to farm himself into the jungle, but look who's found him. FNG, physical damage again, the right click attacks coming through. Be able to secure the kill onto the Jugger once more. Vega Squadron, they're in a spot of bother now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
What is it with these like sub 15-minute team fights, man? They have just been what seems to be deciding games.
Oh look, 13 minutes in, Roshan's happening.
Oh look, both teams are fully aware. There's a blink park. No one drops the TP. No one Dota. He won't have the orb though. This is gonna be risky. Ah! No.
Invoker will get the Aegis.
Close.
And with Lone Druid up at top lane, not going to get himself involved. So there's your mech completed. Virtus.Pro, Medallion, Earn Arcane's Dazzle, Mech Invoker with the Aegis, FNG, Force Staff is pretty much complete, while no one with a Blink Dagger. You know, you're jumping himself away from this Drow Ranger, but Yoku, he basically just offers you Precision Aura. You know, okay, he's got a lot of damage behind him, but the key pivotal point that Virtus.Pro picked this hero is so everyone else can right-click the shit out of towers.
And that bear. That's pretty much it. Two major targets. And what you said, like, they lost that tower so early. There was no more secure farm, no safe farm, and hell, we talked about this all last game, it's VP. How do they want to come back in the game? They run at you. And right now they're running at towers. To great success. It looks like they should be able to secure up mid, the tier 2 TP from FNG. He's got the Force Staff for some initiation here. Can't quite find it though.
Gonna go for it. Mag, 300 gold until the Radiance. How much momentum swing are we gonna... Oh god. What? No one jumped alone into 4 heroes. No one's puck just jumped alone into 4 heroes. I completely missed that. I was gonna start talking about how much of a momentum shift this Radiance for Lone Druid is gonna have. But my brain just melts from the fact that Puck just died for no reason there and has no buyback, and now you're losing your tier 3s. Glyph is up. They're trying to get trades off here, but they've got to TP back and defend this one. Aegis is still available for G. And the Force Staff on FNG, he's looking forward to just jumping onto that Solo Enchantress. He tries a sneaky aggressive Force Staff to push her forward, but the TP away. Solo moves himself further towards the west. Racks have fallen. Melee Racks has gone because no one died like that, but they'll jump in anyway. He's found a way to get Retribution. Static Storms onto Yoko as well, but G heals him up with a mech. Yoko's still alive, and the other one's going to land to escape as well. The Drow Rage is still going. Deathward is down, and Solo's dropping, but FN still finds a way to get the Blade Fury damage out. G finally dies. The Aegis will bring him back to life. The question is, can they kill him again? With no one jumping forward, looks like they'll have a good crack at it. 7 seconds until he invokes back off cooldown. He buys a full freaking Vlad as G. He knows what he needs to do. He needs to run. He needs to hide, but There's no hiding from the FN Juggernaut. They get melee racks, but they'll lose 4 heroes there. Yoku will survive, but Invoker, Mech Vlads.
I mean, this is the let's end the game build, right? This is we just took a racks at 14 minutes. This is game 2 of their series at Star Ladder. It was an 11-minute tier 1 and a 13-minute racks via Lycan lineup from VP, and this time they've done it with the Invoker, and they've done it on the Radiant side, which always seems to be the kind that tends to struggle with this sort of a lineup here. You know, it's some longer lanes to go down. You know, look at this Radiant lane, it's so short. Look how tiny it is. But they've done it, man. I don't know, that is crazy. Like, the fact that no one died, it's kind of ridiculous to think how much of an impact a death at 13 minutes can ever have. That's got to be the biggest ones you're ever going to see. Could not find the positioning to try and save that melee Rex.
I think Solo needs more bracers.
I would say so. That would be the logical conclusion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, not enough. Only 3. That is some tragic stuff right there.
Absolutely. FNG's trying to copy him as well. Bracer, cloak, 4 staff. Needs more bracers. That was no fear, double bracer, just bracer gaming all around the early game. This is the thing, we jump in, no one, 300 call stance as well. Static Storm dropped onto the top of their heads, and FN tried to get in as well, but Olas is dragged back. He needs to heal, needs the grave, gets himself the grave, but still, the Invoker's dead. Yoku bails himself away from this one as a lone druid Spear Bear rips apart the ranks of Virtus.Pro, and no one jumps forward even more, looking for kill after kill. The 4 staff in 5 is ready for FNG, but Virtus.Pro, I did not expect that kind of initiation in from the puck.
Man, Sioma too. That was so nicely played. Dream Coil comes out, puts down just a Static Storm, waits till that's then worn off, and then uses the Kinetic Field. I mean, you look at the duration of the total lockdown they had combined with the Coil, and then through the Static Storm and into that Kinetic Field. There was just no way VP could fight that, and that's why it just ends up being a clean 3-0. No one lost on the side of Vega. And of course, they are still going to be down to Rex. But look at this vision committed here as well. Like, this is pretty much useless at this point. Obviously, no one's going to be hanging out here from the side of Vega. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to actually get some map control over into these other parts here from VP. In terms of their smokes, though, there are... Oh, wow, there's actually 3 in stock. Okay, VP have... I scratched it out. They have plenty of tools right now to try and regain some map control and get that last tower down.
I mean, at this point, I'm certain that Slardar should have bought the Vlads, and Invoker should have bought anything else. A 4 staff, a Blink Dagger, I don't know. We'll see how it goes for him though. They are definitely committing to try and push this one out. Solo is shoving out top lane. He's lost one of his bracers. Did he sell it? No. He sold a bracer. Sure that's not meant to happen. Now
you gotta afford that recipe somehow, man.
Meg, yes, definitely. Mag's trying to build into the Vladimirs.
Look, they have no choice here. Like, yeah, we just lost 3 heroes, but we have to run at you again because we have a Mech Vlad's Invoker.
Oh, Glimmer Cape is there, and Omni Slash actually going to cancel out by that one. Static Storm onto G only, and this Death Ward is going to channel nicely on the Shim. The Slayer that's cancelled out. No fear. And tangled up, and with a 2-man crush.
Retreat!
FNG looks to reset, but G glimpsed back into death almost. He's saved up by the grave here, but he's got nothing left to give. He'll just get right-click down into Oblivion and Vega Squadron. They are hunting them down mercilessly, although Hadat's cleared up as he tried to TP himself away. And FNG hides in the trees, but he has no TP. And all of a sudden, momentum shifts. Radiant's bare.
Oh, the orbit's on.
Oh, no way. The creep follows him through. Impetus, bye-bye half HP, and then glimpse back. Yep, into death. Disruptor finds the final instance of damage. But you've got to say, Vega Squadron, they are in the driving seat now.
I mean, this is the risk that you do run, of course, right? Yes, it's a lineup that allows you to get that very early racks. Oh, look at cheeky little no one. That's doing his thing there.
Where? What's he doing?
Oh, he was just blinking in and silencing Yoku and orbing him away, you know. Just being cheeky level 13 puck. It's that phase shift now, actually cracking 14 with that bounty rune, so he's got enough money for the Yules if he thinks he needs it there for that survivability. He's already got the Veil, he's got the Blink. I'm not really sure what other item you'd even want this game, honestly. I guess the Dagon just because it's a drow. Look at him again. Get out of here, Yoku.
Yoku, half HP, but he has no fear. As well as a low hard ants with him. Mag. Has he got the Vlads done? He does indeed. Smoke comes out of Virtus.Pro. I don't have the Aegis if they want to try and push up aggressively. Roshan's not alive. Looks like they've got good vision over on the Lone Druid with that Observer Ward, and they want to try and snipe him out. The Force Staff forward, though, and the Savage Roar back means that Mag is perfectly
nicely
safe.
played.
I don't even get the jump on the Spirit Bear either. Moppax, are you lulling in chat again?
I mean, look where Vega is right now. They knew exactly what was happening. Again, it's VP. So they knew every time. And nice aggressive wards too as well, of course. And no, not me. That was Ryu. He's on my account. And so is Bulldog also.
Who's Ryu? You mean Lipstick guy?
Yeah, that guy.
Okay. That's fair enough. That makes sense. And I took a quick look at the graphs like a minute ago. VP have never been in a dominant leading position. It always felt like they were, you know, pushing forward, taking racks, winning the game. They only have ever had a 2.5k net worth lead. I guess a lot of this comes down to the Lone Druid and just being able to out-farm people with his Midas and now with his Radiance. Our experience lead has pretty much always been in Vega's favor. 14,000. That's what they have. While G goes back for the Ogre Club. I don't know if that's going to be a BKB. Going to be an Aghanim Scepter. I mean, at this point, I'm just going to say it's a flipping halberd.
So is that what you're going with?
He's not going to buy a normal item, is he? He's bought Mech Vlad on Invoker. He's not going to buy an Axe or a BKB. He's going to buy a Dragon Lance or an S&Y, a Silver Edge, a Halberd, something like that.
Oh, I like the Dragon Lance, actually. That fits their little tempo here, their little style.
Right-click from as far away as possible. Just try and right-click up the high ground with a Dragon Lance. Well, for now, Virtus.Pro, they maybe have to look to commit. They've caught the Spirit Bear as well as Mag. But no one's in here. A sneaky little bastard trying to get the Dream Call down. Catches G in Aloha Dance. But Virtus.Pro, they've done well to keep themselves healthy and sustained through this. And that's one ulti down for Vega. Too bad Roshan isn't alive for another minute, because that could be perfect for VP, but they'll realize, they'll poke their heads in, the big man's not up, the basement is empty. There's no one home.
Alright, well, you're on the side of VP. You know this game. You know what's happened. You've done this lineup time and time again, I'm sure. These kind of strats, these kind of styles. The ones that often fail in these scenarios where you've kind of been buffed off the racks. It feels like they need to get this smoke action up and going, but look at these wards right now. Is that courier, was it just delivering a smoke? Or no, just more observers and more wards here, but it was fully spotted out here. Now they are actually going to snipe down some observers and sentries, so that's pretty solid. But they need to regain this control. The problem is you can't really afford to get a gem. You need more of these aura items to stack up and go high ground with. This is a tough game. I mean, this tower's still up. Their only target is the mid. And then Roshan, the big ticket, it does look like it'll fall into the hands of Vega.
They have smoked to go in for this. I think they'll go through the Radiant Jungle first and actually try and break out this fight before the Roshan, knowing they have the team fight advantage here. But a good early defensive weave there over onto Virtus.Pro. They've got all this bonus armor stacking up and racking up, but no fear. Sees no one with a cask. Bouncing onto this little creep camp, no fear, still Glimmercapes himself forward, and the crush stops the Spirit Bear in its tracks. Solo, damage output from Impetus is good, but the Ice Wall is dropped, and no one jumps forward. Dream Coil down, onto 2, the Death Ward, but Static Storm. G is caught, no more spells, Omnislash thrown out as well, but the Grave is there onto G, catching him off guard, but still Impetus damage, and the trap with the ensnare through from the Spirit Bear. 2 are dead for VP, and it looks like it's going to be more. This is an absolute travesty. Virtus.Pro chased in behind their tier 2s. All they need is one bloody root from the bear. They might not even need to. They've got the vision with a glimpse. TP out. Aloha Dance. Not going to be so lucky this time. Both Root and Yule Scepter will catch him. And the rest of Vega retreat back, a 3-0. Roshan is alive. They'll defend their bottom lane. They do lose their ranged racks. Still a massive advantage gained by them.
Oh man. It's like you keep trying to think of these scenarios where VP can try and mount some sort of a comeback here, but it really does seem to come down to that BKB. Like, G just can't do anything in these fights. If he's not silenced by the Disruptor, he's getting silenced by the puck. One person's pulling him one way, the other's shoving him the other. Like, he's just totally useless. And it's because they know, like, Vega, you look at their heroes, and he's the one to take down first. Typically, I think you'd say the Drow, but at this point, it seems to be he's going to be that big kind of a comeback hero. He's even the guy with the mech, too. Added bonus to taking him out first. Ah, it's your Maelstrom Drow. This is your... We're eventually going to get Mega Creep to Drow. Isn't that right? Then you go eggs. Oh, did he sell it? Oh, he sold it. Oh, you're no fun, Yoku.
Ogre Club. Ha.
No, no, BKB.
BKB.
Fun item.
Vega Squadron. This Juggernaut. 3,000 gold saved up. Slardar, what are you doing? Dying to creeps? Yeah, dying to creeps.
I'd say Blink. Okay, no, just a Shadow Blade. Of course. Silly me.
Why the hell
How
not?
foolish. How foolish of me. I guess... Alright, I can see it. They can't afford detection. They're so poor. Definitely not going to have any on them on the side of VP. You know? Your Witch Doctor, he says pop off that ulti. You just pop your Shadow Blade.
So we've...
Attack speed.
We've gone over the longest game this series now. 26.5 minutes in. All of our previous games have been sub 25 minutes. But this game could be decided in the next 5. In the next 3 minutes even. With the next team fight. Because Vega Squadron, if they win a team fight, they are running down a lane and they are taking a lane of racks and forcing VP to buy back. And potentially to even lose the game. But Virtus.Pro also... If they manage to win a team fight, they can run towards mid and take a second full lane of barracks and put themselves in a heady position that could actually hold them in this game. Because right now, looking at buybacks, only 3 players hold them, 2 players now. And Slardar buys up a Blink Dagger. Puck and Invoker are the only guys that are actually available to afford or have that buyback available. I think Vega Squadron realize that they are strongest if they group up as 5. Don't let anyone get solo picked off. The bear can do some split pushing of his own. While Virtus.Pro, it's time to rat. It's time to split push. There's nothing else for it.
This is how we saw them secure the game earlier as well. The Vega just grouping up, moving together, moving as a unit. If you're gonna, as a group, commit to like no buybacks, then this is the only way you can play. You can't afford to have like no one get picked off on his own once more and lead into some sort of a scenario where there's actually an advantage for VP. As long as they're together, I just cannot see this one being turned around from VP without some major... it's like they don't even have the tools for outplays. Maybe FNG, maybe. Like a big crush to set up into the Invoker or something, but it's just much more... It'll have to be almost a mistake from the side of Vega, right? Like, you're looking at the way Sioma's been playing. He's just been nailing these kinetic fields. No one, of course, as well on his puck.
Oh, look at this. The Manta Star's already popped an FN.
Are they going to find anybody?
Doesn't.
Can they even get Vision of G for the glimpse?
Oh, yes, they can. Very, very barely. He ghost walks just before he lands, but they have the Dust on solo. And they've lost their G Invoker up at top lane. It is pushing in. That will have to be addressed by Vega. But it's not a big deal. They can just continue going wherever they want because they have a wonderful little thing called a Spirit Bear. Radiance is there. And he can just push out the lane all on his own. So the 5 heroes of Vega can shove this mid lane, take the tier 2. Not going to be able to take racks off the back of this. At least not easily. Unless they can win a fight in this area as well. Virtus.Pro. I feel like the initial fights they won were all down to aggressive weaves being put down onto Vega, and then recently they've been doing it defensively to not die instantly. But defensive weaving just seems to be... Like, defensive weaving isn't a game-winning moment. It's not a game-winning usage of the spell. It's just, well, we'll die less fast. But we're still going to die. There we go. Aggressive weave is down. I like to see this. Aloha Dance, Veil back, no one. Captures the 2 supports, but he's not going to kill them off just yet. It's down to the Spirit Bear to jump himself in. The Dreamclaw is still onto No Fear, and he's cleared up easily by FN.
I think they can just pull back and re-engage here once they're ready.
Good jump in, but Yule Scepter from no one dodges out the crush. FNG. Oh, that impetus damage. Spirit Bear dropped one nice arrow from Drow Ranger, clears it up, but the resummon is out. There's a weave in 10 seconds time, but no one jumps forward again with the orb across the bow of them. But it's just so agile and mobile that the kinetic field dropped onto G and FNG. They've got the static storm as well. So these 2 heroes are trapped in oblivion, and with the Omnislash back out onto them, FN clears up the Invoker who buys back instantly. This is where FNG has to jump in, force the fight, look for something, look for anything bigger. But the BKB from Yoku is already down, and the rest of Vega, they back themselves away. There's nothing doing. FNG can't catch.
To expire too, so I don't think no one wants to risk it.
Aegis is gone.
Oh, they actually are going to show. I wasn't sure if they were going to try like some sort of a smoke play and hope they come back, but In the case no one will just deny that regen run from the side of VP. And they don't have any observers. They don't have anything to try and regain this back. It's all being spotted right now from that same observer that did bring down the Invoker earlier. And he's gone into the Aghanim Scepter. I guess this is kind of your high ground defense item. I was kind of suspecting that BKB though. He's just going to be relying more so on Aloha Dance.
I swear he's been level 13 forever. Just doesn't seem to be able to progress at all, and I guess it's because the lack of Midas here for him. 13 to 30, 31 minutes in. Lone Druid, 15k net worth. He's got himself, what, AC, Radiance, Vlad's, Phase Boots. His bearer is getting stacked. And you look at Sioma the Slayer on this Disruptor. Solar Crest and Ghost Scepter. I've got a lot of items between them as no one just finishes off his full Aghanim Scepter there. Able to hold the Drow Ranger in place and maybe even snap her back. It's tough times ahead for Virtus.Pro. This lineup was meant to win in like 25 minutes.
Yeah, if you know, at the latest even. But Vega again, playing very clean here. Not gonna find Aloha Dance as he sneaks his way through the trees. Hahaha, victory. Playing like solo down here. You know, taking some notes.
But what does he do?
He grabs one wave, holds it for 5 seconds, and TP's home. Is that it?
You missed out the part where he dies, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. You know, that's a very important part of that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I thought Juggernaut was going for something there. Aloha Dance, what are you doing? Yeah, I'll just take the creep wave. FNG. Waiting very patiently.
Where are you going?
But this is not a great place to jump in on.
You watch him fight this ward or this wave. It's pretty entertaining.
Who's the Dazzle?
Yeah, he's lost half his HP. All right, knockdown, got him. All right, game is saved. Lanes are pushed. Aloha Dance.
No one was scouting out for someone over in the trees there. Not gonna find FNG. He's a little bit deeper than expected. Oh.
I'm sure he's expecting No Fear to be up there, probably. Like, this is kind of your classic support little thing right now, especially up on the dark side. Oh, he just showed again. He was visible there for a moment. And they're just going to push mid and just force him TP home.
They're even looking for G with a jaunt forward from no one. But Vega's already dropped his... Well, FN's already dropped his healing ward there for Vega. They really... don't care about Virtus.Pro and their high ground defensive prowess. No fear, just to slow this down a little bit.
These item builds this game, man. We're gonna get everything. Got our like Maelstrom Jug. He's gonna be building up that magic damage on top of the Veil, right? That's the play, I'm sure. Our Solar Crest Disruptor. It's very typical stuff coming out here. Finally, you know, I guess like Solo's the only one building normal items. Yeah, him and Mag, you know, they're a little steadfast.
He had 3 braces. I cannot agree with you on that. He started with triple braces, so he did go a little bit wonky in the early stages. I think no one's the only one that's gone for like super standard items, you know? Blink, Veil, Yule's Ags.
And now, I mean, things are going, I think, a little bit better than we probably would have expected right now. Now, that could just partially be Vega not pushing the issue, just keeping this control, making sure the lanes don't get too wild here, like the Bear just able to sit up here. They're keeping an eye on Roshan. You can see they've got creeps. The Sunstrike comes in to actually deny it, but that's the next big play. And I think VP, they just want these lanes in a position where they can't, you know, where they won't be giving the Rosh away for free to Vega. They want to force some rotations to be up top and then maybe try and take an advantageous fight at the Roshan. Or, of course, get a trade for Rax would be the dream. You know, someone somehow canceling TPs or something at the pit. Split push is definitely the name of the game.
What does G buy next? Sold his mech, bought Aghanim Scepter, holds onto the Vlads. 35-minute Midas. Let's go. Show it to me. Show me that 35-minute Midas. Oh, whoa. Aloha Dance glimpse back. He's dragged to his death. A TP. It did complete, but the glimpse was there from Sioma the Slayer and Aloha Dance. He's got a Ghost Scepter. With the Blade Fury forward, he will not be able to save himself with it. And Roshan is about to spawn. As Vega get themselves into the pit.
I don't even know. I guess G, like, it has to be BKB, but at the same time, it's up against the Ursa, of course, and then even the Juggernaut. It's not going to be too great at this point, and you have the Aghanim Scepter up on the no one.
Nah, he rebuys the mech, surely.
It's like maybe an AC even actually might be the item. Some survivability, some decent hope at a victory win here. Could even just go back for the bots at this point, or Blink. Maybe Blink's the item actually.
Aegis and Cheese here as the
Oh,
Dream
they got
Coil
G.
actually catches G. He's got Tornado, but he's got nothing else to give as the Omnislash annihilates him up on this top lane. 70 seconds on the sidelines as this Invoker does not have a buyback available. It's on cooldown for 45 seconds, so he will have it soon. Double damage Bear. FNG feels it's his turn to jump in onto Mag, but the rest of his team is just too far away to actually commit in onto that kill. Now Virtus.Pro, what are they waiting for? Drow Ranger has enough money for a Monkey King bar if she wants to, can go into the Daedalus. Obviously went the safer route with the BKB, didn't go for the Maelstrom Aghanims and try and be a little bit flashy. But solo. Aghanim's Impetus is going to be up and running in a short while as he's very close to finishing that one off. And yeah, look at it. Drow Ranger just says, screw it. Forget buybacks, guys. We need to stand our ground in the next fight. No buyback for her. Drow Ranger. Invoker and Slardar will have them, though, unless they decide to buy items as well. There's 2,000 gold onto FNG and, what, about 1,800 on the Invoker. Drow Ranger. If you lose her, if she gets jumped, it's going to be massively detrimental to your teamfight capabilities here, and it's going to be a big team fight coming up. Vega, they know that the high ground capability is here, and FNG slows down the Bear, but the Dream Coil back. Out by no one. And they continue through this. They kill FNG, and he will buy back. Taking out the Aegis Immortal, though, on the Juggernaut. Omnislash is up in 17 seconds' time. The tier 3 is still standing, and Vega, they've not really accomplished too much out of that, apart from one buyback from the Slardar, and Virtus.Pro still hold their high ground.
Yeah, unfortunately, their only catch, of course, needing to buy back. Can't quite get back into the position to actually try and punish them. Maybe like here, you know, somewhere where the Drow and the Invoker can still take some pot shots from up on the high ground.
They have a Spirit Bear resummoned, but no one jumps in with the silence. The Clone Cave is back from no fear, and no one jumps back but FNG. There's no buyback, and he is dead for a long time. 60 seconds, and this Rax will fall. Maybe the full lane as the aggressive Weaver's placed down and an EMP, but jumping forward is no one. Looking for Yoku. Drow Ranger BKBs, but very late. The damage output so good. The Grave back from Alliance keeps Yoku alive, but Impetus damage still going through. G on them, meanwhile. He's going to have to buy back to save his base because Vega Squadron, the hordes of heroes just running themselves forward. Sioma the Slayer, the Sun striking the Death Ward is going to scratch him and he will die. The gem is dropped on the floor, but Yoku's jumped forward. There we go with a Grave onto him. Drow Ranger retreating out as fast as you possibly can with the Dream Coil to 3. No one still catches them. And this is going to be it. Virtus.Pro call GG. Game number 5. Every single game won by the dire side in this series. And Vega will get themselves that slot, secure them a place at ESL One Frankfurt 2016. We'll be seeing them there.
Dire Dota, too strong. No one puck too strong, you know. This guy totally killing it, but certainly not taking away again. Meg, 5-0-22. This guy, did he just go deathless in 2 straight games? I believe he did. Just totally killing it there on that Beastmaster, and then rocking right into that Lone Druid. Yeah, he didn't die last game either. Damn, son.
I don't think he died game